Un polvito lindo para andar bien así.
Escucha Urbano Radio Station. Estás escuchando Fuego Urbano Radio Station. Fuego Urbano, nos fuimos. Escucha Fuego Urbano Radio Station. En Facebook y regálanos un like. Sigue Fuego Urbano Radio en Facebook y regálanos un like. Fuego Urbano Radio Station.
Muy buenas noches, mi gente. Buenas noches, ¿cómo están todos? Ya estamos en el podcast número 1 de Kansas City, Missouri, sus alrededores, quemando la podcast show. Gracias a Dios, otro show más. Aquí estamos con el DJ más perrón, DJ Monstruo en la casa, y tu servidor Colibrí Mosco. ¿Cómo está mi DJ?
¿Qué onda? Aquí ya estamos activos, mi gente. Bienvenidos otra vez a Kansas City, Missouri, quemándola, ya que jueves con jueves les traemos entrevistas a artistas y gente de interés social. Esta vez no es ninguna excepción, tenemos un buen show para ustedes. Tenemos unos invitados que les vamos a estar preguntando cosas de los impuestos y del crédito. Ya ves que a veces, pues muchas veces la gente no tiene la información correcta, y pues hoy tenemos una invitada que nos va a estar contestando de esas preguntas de esa índole. Fontana Daños por ahí está con nosotros esta noche, Colibrí.
Sí, pendiente, mi gente. Tendremos una invitada con nosotros, Fontana Daños con nosotros. Y pues vámonos con el patrocinador del empezar del show, nada más y nada menos que Max Motors, mi gente. Max Motors te espera, nada más y nada menos que en el 7820 y 171 Street, Belton, Missouri. Mi raza, tienen el dealer más grande en todo Kansas City, Missouri. Ahora sí, y con los mejores precios. Pudieron ver en el Facebook Live que anduvimos quemándola en las streets con DJ Monstruo y su servidor. Anduvimos ahí en Max Motors. Ahora sí, con unos carros bien chingones, mi DJ, unos carros bien cabrones.
Sí, por ahí la información que les brindamos en ese video, por ahí está en la página, ahí donde estamos hablando con Juanito y nos está dando opciones de cómo comprar y cómo pues del inventario que tienen ellos ahí, que manejan en Max Motors, y del especial de que tienen ellos, el especial VIP, el descuento VIP. Diles que lo viste en Fuego Urbano Radio para que te den un descuento de $500. Aprovecha ese, pero le tienes que decir a cuando lo vimos a Juanito que lo viste en Fuego Urbano Radio para que te den tu descuento VIP.
Eso sí, recuerden de decir lo que lo escucharon en Fuego Urbano Radio para que les den su descuento VIP, mi gente. Recuerda que en el video les enseñamos los precios. Había carros de $90,000. Su precio en el dealer lo tenían en $70,000. Había otros de 70, los tenían en $40. Que no pueden dejar pasar, mi raza, no pueden dejar pasar con Max Motors. Y lo más cabrón es que les puedes decir que escuchaste Urbano Radio y te dan otros $500 de descuento. Ahora sí que descuento por todos lados. Ellos están para servirte en el 7820 y 171 Street, Belton, Missouri. También te recordamos por ahí, para la raza del trabajo, raza de construcción, de la yarda, del roofing, no importa de dónde, qué trabajo tengan por ahí. Había unas trocas del trabajo hasta para personas que trabajan en tipo de luz, plomería y todo eso. Hay unas trocas que vienen equipadas, ya sea con sus cajas, ya sea con sus rampas, ya sea con todo el servicio que necesites, y estaban a un precio bien cabrón, DJ, dijeron 70 y tanto y la tenían en 49,000 varos.
Sí, aprovechen ese flujo de inventario que tienen ellos extra para que para que la gente pues ahorre ahí un buen varo, y luego todavía con el descuento VIP que le estamos brindando en cooperación con Max Motors, para que pues aprovechen, ¿verdad? Ahorita que se vienen también pues la época de los impuestos ahí, para que aprovechen de una vez con Max Motors, que ofrece estos descuentos para que te puedas llevar una buena troca para el trabajo esta temporada.
Sí, marca la Juana al 913-293-2667, 913-293-2667. Tienen por ahí nada más y nada menos que Chevrolet, Ford, Honda, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. También los Rubicones, también perrones esos Rubicones. Me quedé con la gana de uno. Ya en
Sí, sí,
futuro,
pues,
primero Dios.
también tienen por ahí los Dodge Chargers, los Dodge, el que parece como tipo Suburban, pero de la Dodge, no me acuerdo cómo
Sí,
el modelo ese, pero ahí tienen varios ahí que si checas el video, vas a ver que te vas a interesar en alguno de todos los vehículos que tienen ahí disponibles para ustedes ahí en Max Motors. También está un Cadillac por ahí que vimos, no era Escalade, que era otro modelo, ¿verdad? Un
era de
400,
la Cadillac que andaba. Nos fuimos a dar la
400,
vuelta, era una Cadillac,
viene
6 asientos.
equipado ahí con cámaras por atrás y por delante, así pues muchos vehículos que puedes checar ahí en el video, pero recuerda que también para que te den el descuento VIP, pues nomás diles que lo viste en Fuego Urbano Radio.
Sí, no se les olvide eso, no se les olvide eso. Si van a Max Motors, checan todos los carros que tienen, trocas, carros usados, nuevos, 0 milla, trocas para el trabajo, con rampa, con rampa para levantar de basura, tirar basura, todo eso. Oye, ese tío no lo pueden dejar ir, son Rams 2500 por ahí equipadas con todo. Ahora sí que lo estaban haciendo por oferta de diciembre, así que aprovechala tú. Descuentos de 15,000, 20,000 dólares y todavía unos 500 extras si les dices que lo escuchaste en Fuego Urbano Radio. No dejen pasar eso, mi gente. Marca la Juana 913-293-2667 o visítalos en el 7820 East 171 Street, Belton, Missouri. Max Motors, el dealer más grande, ahí está para servirles, mi raza. Ahí está para servirles. Otra cosita rápido antes que metamos nuestra invitada. 21 de diciembre, ¿dónde vamos a estar, mi DJ Monstro?
Claro que sí, el 21 de diciembre vamos a estar celebrando el primer juguetón de Navidad, que lo estaremos celebrando acá en Fuego Urbano Radio en Emporia, Kansas. Esto viene siendo el 713 de la calle comercial. Acá en Emporia vamos a estar acá activos, todo regalando juguetes para los niños en Navidad, lo que viene siendo de 12 p.m. a 2 p.m. acá en las oficinas de Fuego Urbano Radio. Muchas gracias a los patrocinadores que han estado haciendo esto posible, tales como Skate Shop, Tumbados Car Club, Angelitas Fashion, JNS Creations, Syntax Service, Lux Consulting, Tapatío Bar Mexican Grill, Confetti Entertainment, entre otros. Los esperamos sábado 21 de diciembre a eso de las 12 p.m. de 12 a 2 vamos a estar aquí en el primer juguetón de Navidad, organizado por Fuego Urbano Radio.
Y el 22 de diciembre los esperamos nada más y nada menos que aquí en la Nueva Azteca, 11226 West 75 Street, Shawnee, Kansas, donde tendremos nada más y nada menos que show de payasos. Zapatón Show estará con nosotros, Carito Show estará con nosotros también,
Bien.
Confetti Rento Entertainment estará con nosotros. También tenemos por ahí dulces para los niños, una rifa de una bicicleta. También tendremos por ahí comida para los niños traído por taquería Los Tres Hermanos. Le van a dar hamburguesas a todos los niños, tacos a todos los papás. Así que tienen que venirse. También tendremos por ahí los dulces, los regalos traídos por todos los patrocinadores. Gracias a Fuego Urbano, Confetti Rent Entertainment, La Nueva Azteca, Tapatío Mexican Grill, Taquería Los Tres Hermanos, De Ángeles Beauty Salon, JNS Remodeling, Lux Consulting, Juan C. Alvarado, HA Auto Service, Master Paint LLC, Zapatón Show, El Show de Carito, JNS Creation, Angelitas Fashion, Tumbados Car Club, Sand Tech Service y Ice Skate Shop, ¿sí, no? Ice Skate Shop. Todos ellos son los patrocinadores de este evento y es un evento totalmente gratis de 2 a 4 p.m. Tráete a tus hijos, te esperamos. Un evento totalmente gratis. Por favor, papás, tráiganse a sus hijos. Denos 2 horitas de diversión, por ahí va a estar Santa Claus para la foto, Spider-Man, Sonic y muchos personajes más para que se tomen la foto, Pikachu, Goku, van a andar ahí las princesas, muchos personajes para que los niños se tomen una foto y se lleven un bonito recuerdo este 22 de diciembre. Los esperamos en la Nueva Azteca, 11226 West, 75 Street, Shawnee, Kansas, 11226 West, 75 Street, Shawnee, Kansas. Recuerden, 22 de diciembre, no falten, no falten. Los esperamos por ese lado.
Esta fecha para que vayan, pues para que inviten a todos. Si conocen a otra gente que tiene niños por ahí, inviten a la familia para que puedan asistir y pues llevar a los niños a pasarse un buen rato para que pues sigan el espíritu navideño en estas fechas que pues ya es la tercera edición, Colibrí,
Sí, sí. Qué bonita experiencia, otra vez, otro año más con una bonita experiencia. Vamos a terminar el año regalándole juguetes a los niños, viéndolos cómo se divierten 2 horas. Ahora sí que diversión gratis para los niños, para que los papás se relajen un ratito, miren el show, miren todo lo que tiene ahí el elenco, ¿verdad? Que le traemos. Y ese evento gratis, gratis. Ahora sí que tráiganselo a divertir, ¿verdad? Si salen de por ahí de la iglesia, les da tiempo de llegar ahí con nosotros. Recuerden, de 2 p.m. a 4 p.m. Ahora sí, mi gente, tenemos nada más y nada menos quién con nosotros, mi DJ.
Yes, we have with us tonight Santana Daniels with us from tonight as a special guest. Welcome, Santana.
Hi. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you located, where you're from, and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm originally located in a small town named Alexandria, Louisiana, but I currently reside in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been here for about 3 years now.
3 years, that's what's up. So you miss home? You go there every sometimes, or how
no, not really.
No.
No, I don't visit.
You like the city where you're located now?
Yeah.
What's the difference between Louisiana and where you at now?
Woo, everything.
I don't know. I've never been in Louisiana, so that's why I'm asking.
Louisiana is kind of like, it's small. It's
a small town.
Small. Yeah, so Cincinnati is more of a huge town. I love the culture, the environment is very different from Louisiana.
Oh,
but
okay.
I do miss the food, though. I miss the food.
Oh, okay. What's the difference? What's the?
Well, Louisiana is in the South, so we have like Southern food, gumbo, just good food. So
okay, seafood.
Yeah.
It's close to New Orleans or what?
Yeah, it's about, I would say, 2 to 3 hours to New Orleans.
Oh, that's close.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys ever been to New Orleans?
No, I just That's about it.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I've been seeing it on YouTube, but I'm like, nah, I don't know nothing from there. But yeah. So you like where you at now? How long you been there? You say?
About 3 years now.
3 years now. Oh,
pretty much from there now.
So you came by yourself? You brought your family?
So I brought my family.
Your whole family?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So you don't feel like you're missing your people to go back over there. That's why I understand now you don't want to go back. I'm okay.
Right.
we like us when we get to United States. Like, you want to go back to Mexico? No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
So can you share a little about your journey? Tell us what led you to become like a tax and credit expert.
Yeah. So it started about 5 years ago. About 5 years ago now. It started with myself, basically, being young, not knowing about credit, completely ruining my own credit. So, of course, doing that, I had collections, late payments, charge-offs, anything you can name on there. So I had to learn how to go ahead and like basically clean myself up, clean the profile up, and start with personal funding. That just led me into the whole financial literacy journey, learning about credit, funding, taxes, and that basically just birthed both businesses that I have now.
Okay. So you didn't know nothing about taxes. You should say, I want to do
nothing. Taxes. I was a baby to it. I had to learn everything. I would say I've invested in about $30,000 in different mentorships in the past couple years.
How important is it to have a mentor, whether it be in business or in taxes or or in credit in this case, how important is it to have a mentor guide you?
It's very important. I always think of it like this. I'd rather get a mentor and find out what mistakes they made off the back rather than doing it the hard way and doing it myself and taking forever to get to that process. So having a mentor is very, very important. I always tell people if your mentor doesn't even have a mentor, then you need to get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leaders are definitely always learning, and they like to keep updated and learn from other coaches as well. I've noticed there's quite a few myths about about taxes and credit. That what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you've come across in this industry so far?
It's so many that I can debunk. Like there's so many. Starting off with credit, I would say basically we would go over kind of like a lot of people think that just adding authorized users to your profile would basically get you approved for things, and that's not the case. So I always tell my clients you need to have a strong credit profile to even be approved for anything. And what I mean by a strong credit profile is having a minimum of 10 positive primary accounts that'll be reporting in your name, that'll be on your personal profile.
Okay, what are some of those examples that people can easily get on and start getting their accounts started?
So for a beginner, I would start with like basically the credit builder accounts. So, and here are a couple. So number one, you have Kickoff. Kickoff is a credit builder account that allows you to build credit by paying a small monthly fee every month. Now, when you pay that small monthly fee every month, it reports the positive payment history to the credit profile. And it reports to basically the three main bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So Kickoff has 3 different plans you can choose from. I think they start off at $750 and go all the way up to $3,500. And like I said, you just pay that small monthly fee. So other accounts like that are called Kovo, Ava, Credit Strong, Self, things like that. I would start there. That'll give you kind of a little more leeway to kind of just build your profile up. But of course, there are more ways to build it up. Basically, when I mean primary accounts, these are accounts, again, that are in your name. So it can be anything like student loans, auto loans, any rent that you have reporting, any mortgages, anything that you ever apply for in your name and actually got approved for.
Okay. And so for people that don't know, what's a good starting credit to shoot for when starting out?
So we're gonna go big or go home. We're not go we're done with the 600s. We need to be in a 720 plus. So having a strong profile is very, very important, as well as getting the negative things removed, the collections, charge off, bankruptcies, things like that. I always stress that. And a lot of people think like just because I add these primary accounts and I still have these collections on there, that the primary accounts are going to kind of like cover up and hide them. That's not the case. I always tell people it's best to repair and rebuild at the same time. That way, as you're removing the negative accounts, you're adding positive accounts to replace that.
So it's kind of like two different components that ultimately build into having a good credit score. Is that correct? Kind of how it goes?
Yeah. There's a lot of different components. So you have a different credit mix. You have your utilization. You have the total amount of accounts that you're supposed to have on there. You have inquiries. Inquiries are basically how many times that you're applying for credit. So as you know, if you go apply for Chase, they're going to give you an inquiry. Depending on where you're at in the U.S., most of the time they're pulling Experian, but sometimes they do pull TransUnion. So you have that. And basically that just gives you a different credit mix. So if you have a little bit of everything, it'll kind of balance itself out, and that kind of makes up the score.
Okay. And that's just for personal credit, correct? What about business credit?
Oh, so business credit is it's a little more, it's not, I wouldn't say complicated. but there are a lot of components that go into it. So a lot of people know, like, building business credit, you start off by doing it by adding different net 30 accounts. These can be net 10, 20, 30, 60, 90. And the number is basically how many days you have to pay that account back. So in order to even generate something called a paydex score on the business side, you need 4 different net 30 accounts or net accounts to be reporting.
To start off with.
4 to start off with. Now, once you get to that 4, like I said, you build a paydex score. Paydex score is a Dun & Bradstreet score. Then you have the business Experian, and then you have the business Equifax. So the more trade line accounts you can add, the higher the score will be.
So that's the equivalent to like the 400, 500 for the personal side.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's like the equivalent of the number like 400, 500 for the personal credit score, kind of?
Yep. Yep. That's exactly how it is. So a paydex score goes from 0 to 100. So as long as you're paying your accounts on time monthly, being in that 85 and up range is good. For Experian and Equifax, being in that 400 range and up is good.
Okay, for business credit. What are some of the started credit cards for businesses?
So now are you wanting like PG or secure where you put the money up on the card?
Probably where they don't put the money on the card.
Okay, so this would be PG, and PG is called personal guaranteeing. This is when you use your personal credit when applying for business applications. Now, when you are doing this step, the most accounts are only going to report on the business side to the business credit report, but some cases and some bureaus do. So, for example, Capital One, they report to the personal and the business side. So, for me personally, I kind of stay away from any accounts like that report to both sides, because the whole purpose of building business credit is to keep everything separate from the personal side.
Right.
Now, again, this is using your personal credit on any business applications. So, this is where it's important to have that good, strong credit profile with a good score to be approved for things. And this is basically how I get my clients up to $100,000. That's on the low end in business.
So, what is the biggest amount you have been able to help your clients acquire in business funding?
320K.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yep.
So how long on average does it take to get credit on both personal and business to be able to secure amounts like that?
So every profile is different, personal and business credit profiles. So it just depends on how much damage has been done. So let's kind of go over the personal first. So if someone has a profile like 10 collections, off top of my head, I'm going to say, okay, first of all, I never like to give my clients like a certain time frame, because I feel like I'm doing you a disservice of saying that. So I never say like, oh, it's only going to take me 2 months to do this. No, that I would never tell anybody that. So, but I would let them know to anticipate up to a year of credit repair with 10 collections. So again, it depends on how much damage has been done to the profile.
It depends how many items they have on their profile and stuff like that.
So it depends on what's all reporting. Basically, if they have to go through credit repair or not. So say if we have a client who doesn't have any negative items, but this client also doesn't have any credit cards whatsoever. They don't have anything called comparable credit. And that's very important when you're trying to obtain business funding. I always like to tell my clients, think of it like this. You can't go asking for business funding $100,000 when you don't even have $10,000 on the personal side.
Right.
You haven't showed that you can handle that type of money on the business side yet. So Starting off on the low end, most of my clients should have a minimum of 15K in their own credit cards. That's before even adding anything extra.
Okay. So let me see. Okay, how can they if someone is interested in working with you, where can they reach you at for like as far as like credit repair and stuff?
So my Instagram is Miss Goated with Assets, MS._ Goated with Assets. And my Facebook name is Zantana Daniel. You can reach out to me there. I also have a website. It's www.genwealthacademy.org. On all three of those platforms, you can just simply reach out to me and book a consultation. All consultations are free, and we'll be able to go over anything you ever have questions about, and basically just get you started.
Okay. So tell us, when it comes to filing taxes, what are some of the key things people should keep in mind to make that process smoother?
I would say making sure you have all your documentations in place.
So what documentations? What do you mean? Like what would they need? Let's say I want to start getting my taxes on January 2nd. What would I need ready to make the process smoother?
Gotcha. So it depends on what type of situation you have. Do you work a W-2 job? Are you self-employed? Do you have kids? Are you claiming those kids? Do you have any retirement to claim? So depending on your situation, but for someone with a basic tax return, and that's just like a couple W-2s or one and some kids. So basically for a situation like that and a client like that, they would need their ID, their social security card, for yourself and the dependents. And for your dependents, you would need their birth certificates. And you will also need your W-2 forms and any health insurance forms that you plan to file as well.
Okay. So with tax laws that are changing all the time, are there any recent updates that everyone should be aware for this upcoming tax season, particularly?
Not too much about, like, I've been researching. I know I've been seeing a lot of people just kind of like play with the numbers on the child tax credit, but we really won't know until January 1st, until it gets close to basically of what really is going to go on and what laws are going to be set. So that's basically the time frame that I basically get ready to have everything set in stone.
Okay, so that's when if there's any changes in the tax publication, that's when they will be released, I guess.
Yes. Yep, okay. Definitely that first week. Basically, the public is basically allowed to start filing taxes on January 2nd.
For those people that are allowed to, that are able to claim taxes January 2nd, can they have their returns within the same week?
No. So it takes about 3 weeks. A minimum of 3 weeks for you to go through the whole process. That's you coming in, having your return filed, the IRS accepting your return, and then you actually receiving those funds.
Okay.
About 3 weeks is the appropriate time frame. Now, depending on the tax situation, because again, everybody's situation is different. So if everything checks out and you don't need to turn anything to the IRS or present any paperwork, then you should receive it within that 3 week time frame.
Okay. So there's like so much information out there about taxes and credit. Do you have any favorite resource or tools that you think are really helpful besides the ones you already mentioned?
I actually have a lot. So, and this is kind of more for people who are interested in building personal funding, and like basically getting themselves prepared for business funding. So there's this site called the American Consumer Council. Basically, it allows you to enter into multiple credit unions around the world.
Okay, what's it called?
American Consumer Council. Now, originally this site, it does have a fee on it, but I do have a code for you guys to make it free. Okay, so we actually have 2 different codes that you can enter when you go in and to the checkout portion. You can enter code Andrews, all caps, or service.
Andrews or service, huh?
Andrews or service. Both of those codes will make that basically free for you. It's very simple. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to fill out the application. And as soon as you hit submit, you have your certificate immediately. Basically, having that certificate, again, it gets you access into different credit unions, just in different areas. So you know how like Navy Federal, they ask you for an access code to even be entered in. The American Consumer Council number basically gives you that same access into different credit unions.
Okay, so having access to different credit unions, how is this going to help business owners, for those that don't know?
So it's basically you building up your personal funding. And what I mean by personal funding, it kind of again ties back into that having enough comparable credit. So if you're somebody who doesn't have any credit cards whatsoever, you would definitely need to go through personal funding before even considering business funding. So this is you building up different relationships with different credit unions or banks and getting approvals.
Okay.
Now, I would also recommend to not do too much at once. And this also ties into your time frame on wanting to apply for business funding. So if you go through this personal funding process and say you get $20,000, but you have plans to do the business funding a year from there, then that time frame is good. But I do not recommend getting the personal funding and then trying to go directly into the business funding, because a lot of people run into the issue of being denied for the business funding because they have too much new credit too soon.
Okay.
So there's this
for too much.
There's this rule called the 524 rule, and Chase is really huge on this rule. So basically, the rule means you can't have no more than 5 inquiries in the last 24 months.
Oh, okay. So that's like 2 years, within 2 years.
Yeah. So if you hit 6, 7 credit unions all in a week, then you're maxed out, and especially if you get approved for all of them.
You're gonna get the bag where you're gonna get restricted on Okay.
That's good, because sometimes maybe people just take it like that, like easy. All right, let me ask for another one, and they messed up. It's interesting. All these.
I was going to say it's also good to do this funding in sequences. Now, are you guys familiar with the funding sequence?
No, I'm new in this. That's why I stay quiet. I want to listen to everything and make sure it stick to my head.
Right. So a funding sequence is basically you mapping out where you're going to go. And what I mean where you're going to go is what banks and credit unions you're going to hit. And also what bureau they pull from.
Okay, so this is where the American Consumer Council list comes handy. So you have all your list of credit unions.
Correct. And you can also simply, if not, look on the website of the credit unions. You can call in to ask them, hey, what are your qualifications of becoming a member? Most might mention the American Consumer Council, and you let them know, like, hey, I already have my certificate, I'm ready to go. So you just pay that small fee to join the credit union, and then you're good from there.
Okay.
But basically, here's like a personal funding sequence. And these are a couple banks that you guys can go to, or credit unions that you guys can go to, and basically what bureau they pull from. So number 1 is called Wings Credit Union. They pull from TransUnion. This credit union will allow you to get approval for an auto loan, a personal loan, and a credit card.
Wow. Okay.
And again, they pull from TransUnion. Now, kind of watch this. This is where the sequence comes in at. So the next credit union is called In Touch Credit Union.
In Touch Credit Union.
In Touch Credit Union. They pull from Equifax. Now, this credit union is a soft pull that will allow you to get pre-qualified for, again, auto loans, personal loans, and credit cards.
Okay.
And pre-qualified means that you get to see if you are approved without even getting an inquiry.
Oh, that way you don't have a negative on your credit report.
Correct. Now, let's say that they do give you a pre-qualification. They say, hey, you're approved for $5,000. If you do decide to accept that, then you would eventually get that inquiry on Equifax, for example. So, correct. So the next one is called Service Credit Union. This credit union pulls from Experian, and this credit union is kind of special to me. For example, you can get things on the personal side and the business side with only one credit pull.
That's it?
That's it. So we went through Wings Credit Union that pulls from TransUnion.
TransUnion, yeah.
TransUnion is number one. Number two is In Touch Credit Union that pulls from Equifax. And then Service Credit Union that pulls from Experian. Now, we went through 3 credit unions that pull from different bureaus. So once we do that application for Wings Credit Union with TransUnion, when we get to the second one for In Touch Credit Union that pulls Equifax, they're not going to see the approval that we just got from TransUnion. So that kind of gives you the advantage of getting approved. So basically, you do that in the sequence, however you choose to do it. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, start over.
So one of each bureau, so they don't pull from the same one.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So I would make I would do some research, and this is a way that you can also do some research. So there's this site called ibanknet.com. ibanknet.com. And it's very simple. You basically choose your location, what state you're in. It gives you literally every bank and credit union that's in that state.
Whoa.
From there, you can see basically how much money is coming in and out. And basically how I can explain it the best, the more money you see coming in and out, the better that bank is or that credit union is.
So you can see all of the transactions?
Yes. How much money they loan out, how much money they bring in. And from there, it's just simple, just to click on their name and to go to that credit union or bank's website and just to see if the products that they offer best fit you and your needs on the business side or the personal side.
Okay. All right. That's a huge golden nugget right there. So, can you share a success story from someone you work with that will turn their financial situation around?
Yeah.
I would say my client Patrice is my favorite so far. So we actually known each other from my hometown back in Alexandria, Louisiana, and so this is the one that got the $320,000.
Okay.
And that was just on one LLC. So the good thing about it is, before I kind of go back into that, before I forget, the good thing about it is we got her that funding, right? And then we basically created a second LLC and we started funding for a second round this week.
Oh, okay. So the story is not over yet.
Oh, no, it's not over. But the success story would be from the first LLC. So Patrice had different dreams and goals. She wanted to basically get a food truck. She loves to cook. She loves to create raw, healthy juices, fresh juices. So she was able to buy a food truck. She was able to buy a building actually have that in. She actually is also in the process of acquiring land as well to build a new building on too.
Oh, wow. So she went all out.
Yeah, she went all out. So she already had a daycare as well. Yes, so she already had a daycare as well. So she kind of just went in and expanded that business as well. So she bought a new transportation van that she can transfer her kids at the daycare in.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. So she went all out.
Yeah, she didn't waste any time. As soon as the approvals were coming in, she started to invest immediately. So she's already like starting making money, passive income, and
Shout out
doing
to
different
her.
things. Yeah.
So for those feeling like overwhelmed by tax or credit card debt, what are some words of encouragement or advice that you have for them?
I would say just continue to do your best. I know everybody has different situations, financial especially. So just keep doing your best. As long, and this is mostly for the credit side, with the utilization and being in credit card debt, as long as you're making your minimum monthly payments, then you can always strategize to come up with a plan to get those high balances paid down. But again, as long as you're making those minimum monthly payments, you're not receiving any late payments, and look at that as a plus.
Okay. Let me see. So switching back to talking about taxes, for our self-employed friends out there, what are some unique tax tips that you think they should pay attention to?
I would say making sure you keep record of everything, especially being self-employed. Um, if you're anything like me, I myself still have trouble and have times where I forget to like keep different receipts or keep track of different things. I am getting better with it, but I would
Yeah,
say to invest in an accountant, someone that can help balance your books and keep up with everything.
keep on
That
accounting.
way, when tax time does come around, you don't have a headache or you're not dreading or procrastinating to do it because you know it's going to be a difficult
Yeah.
time.
So the people for some people that don't have would have access to an accountant or something. What are some tools that you might have used in the past that help you with that?
Spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are good.
Like the
Just
Google
basically,
spreadsheet.
yeah, basic spreadsheet, something that's low cost. And when you do use that and create it, it's basically you just keeping a note of what you purchased, the date you purchased it, how much it was, just so you can have everything together. And basically, you do that all throughout the year. And at the end of the year, whoever is preparing your taxes, you say, hey, here's what I've collected over the last 12 months. And you kind of do their job easy, make it easier for them.
Okay. So looking ahead, what trends do you see like in the world of taxes and credit management?
Um, Especially with Trump back in office, I'm really not sure what to expect, but in this industry that I'm in, it changes daily. So I do make sure to always do research and like just basically keep up with the up to date things and the knowledge, so I can just pass that along to my clients and my audience. But I feel like everybody should be in the season of repairing your credit if it is something that needs to be repaired. And
Yeah.
everybody, and I do mean everybody, you and your family should have an LLC. Everybody.
Okay. For those people that wanted to get an LLC, what some of the resources they can go check out if they're interested in doing that?
So my business, Generational Wealth Academy, we also offer that service, business formation. So we can help you create that LLC, all the way down to the marketing and branding for it, logos, landing pages, funnels, anything you need for that business, we can provide that. But there are also other resources out there that you could basically utilize to get that LLC created. LegalZoom is one. BizFile is another. Those sites are basically you only paying for the state fees to file the LLC.
Uh-huh.
But of course, they kind of try to do like upsells within the website. So be careful because they might ask you to do an upsell on filing an EIN for you too. But we all know those are free to file and
What's
very, very
the
easy.
second source that you mentioned?
BizFile,
Was it this phone?
BizFile,
Oh,
Biz, yeah, BizFile, BizFile,
this file. Okay.
and
Bizfile.com
LegalZoom.
and LegalZoom.
Mm-hmm.
Vivo. Okay, that's for all the people that want to start the LLC and don't know where to turn for a good resource.
Yeah. So basically, once you inquire about their service, they will do everything for you. You just let them know what state and anything else that you need within that. And then, like I said, you just paid that state filing fee. So, for example, if I wanted to go on LegalZoom and file a LLC in the state of Ohio, I would
Mhm.
only pay about $100 for them to do that.
Oh, so it depends also on the state.
Yes, yes. Every state has different prices for LLCs.
Okay. So is there like a best state to open an LLC in, or it doesn't matter?
So, Wyoming is a good state. It all depends on what situation you have going on. Because if you do file a LLC in a state that you don't live in
Uh-huh.
order for you to operate in that LLC in your state, you have to create something called a foreign entity.
Okay.
That basically gives your business asset to operate in that state. So, for example,
Uh-huh.
say if I lived in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Texas is my home state, but my LLC is formed in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to file a foreign entity for the state of Texas for my LLC in order for me to do business in Texas, since the LLC was birthed and filed in Ohio.
Okay. All right.
And that is kind of like another gem on how people are able to maximize their business funding. So, say you got, for example, $200,000 in Ohio,
Uh-huh.
but you found like a couple banks that are in Texas, but they only give to people in Texas. So, you
Exactly.
would create a foreign entity for the state of Texas, go to
Mm-hmm.
Texas or do it online because you have that Texas address in the
Right.
paperwork from the foreign entity, and then you can get approved for extra funding.
Okay. So you can travel and get there and get more money using that.
Oh, yeah. People do it all the time.
Okay. That's a great piece of advice. So, lastly, is there any one piece of advice you could share that you wish everyone knew about taxes or even credit? What would it be?
I would say to make it simple on you, just to get a mentor. Get a mentor. We all know that research can be done on YouTube. It can be researched, but there's nothing like physically having somebody to kind of like guide you and show you the correct way and kind of bypass all of those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can spend time and waste time searching on YouTube for months and months. But by you taking that leap and risk and investing in that mentor, you get your time back basically.
That's very true.
So I would suggest that. I will also suggest anybody who's basically like in a season of procrastination, like
Mm-hmm.
playtime is over. Like it's about to be 2025. It's
Yeah.
time to be serious about our financial literacy, and it's time to just create a better life for you and your family.
That's true.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Don't be scared of
Yeah, don't be
knock a
scared.
door and ask, they don't take nothing.
So,
What
where can people find you on Instagram again?
yeah.
So my Instagram name is Miss Goated with Assets. So MS period underscore Goated with Assets. And my Facebook page is Zantana Daniel.
Okay. On Facebook. Do you use TikTok?
I try to. I need to I need to get on there, but my go-to would be Instagram or Facebook.
That's where you at most of the time.
Yeah, I'm still working on TikTok.
Okay, okay.
Yes, Daniel on Facebook.
Everybody does videos on TikTok, I guess, dancing, but I don't know. You like, no, not yet. Hold on, let me think
No.
about it. What I'm gonna do. That's good. Hey, you have me over here thinking like, wow, I never heard about none of this stuff, so I guess it's new for me and it's gonna be new for those people.
Yeah,
But it's good thing on the business side, whoever wanna ask for a loan, you told us already how to do it. Oh, I know most of the people's gonna get in contact with you or trying to, give more advice from you, and it's good all this conversation that we had today, because a lot of people need to know about this stuff,
of course.
and today
Yeah,
we learn day by day, we learn the new stuff.
yeah. Every day, every
Every
day.
day.
I always tell people I'm always a student. Always.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, every day we have to be a student and learn.
Yeah.
What you say, DJ?
yeah. Every day we learn something new.
So something else that we gotta tell the people something before we leave.
Um, I'm not sure. I would say, execute on this information I gave you on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, basically, especially with the credit union play I gave you, that's really really valuable information. People pay for the information, so
Yes, 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 and today was
I
free,
would
so
say,
they need to learn.
You guys use it. I put it in the comments so people can like actually go there and look at it and start using it. So everything that she shared is in the comments. So it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, and on Instagram, and over here on TikTok we're gonna put it on the lives for a link so you can check out on Facebook. Hear the replay on the podcast. So thank you very much, Antana, for coming today to chat with us. We really, really appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Happy Christmas, happy New Year's, and I
Same
hope
to you.
next year is it's double times better than this year for you. God bless you and everything you do, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. You guys have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night. Bueno, bueno, mi gente, hoy tuvimos ahora sí que una entrevista muy importante sobre taxas y crédito, de pedir crédito para negocios. Ahora sí que me quedé yo muy calladito porque como my English is not very good looking, se lo dejé al DJ. Dije, DJ, tú aviéntate tu English, ahí como se pueda, ¿verdad? Pero estuvo muy, muy bueno, la verdad, muy importante eso de explícale algunas cosillas que aprendimos ahora, mi DJ, a la
Sí,
raza que tú te echaste tu inglés.
pues sí, para las personas que están ahí viendo, ya sea si necesitan ayuda en cualquier cosa de taxas o de impuestos, pues ahí de crédito o de impuestos, pues ahí también ahí está el contacto de Sontana. Ella nos estaba proporcionando algunas páginas donde puedes tener acceso a todos los credit unions de aquí de Estados Unidos o de tu estado, de los bancos, las informaciones de cuántos bancos hay en el estado donde vives. Y aquí está la dirección, aquí en los comentarios los pusimos, donde puedes ir a esa página y puedes ver todos los bancos a los que puedes aplicar y de qué compañía reportan. Ya ves que reportan hay tres bureos que siempre reportan todos los bancos, pues ahí te estás explicando cada banco a cuál buró reporta para que puedas maximizar tus financiamientos ahí, pues pidiendo préstamos o tarjetas a diferentes credit unions con diferentes agencias que reportan, así para que puedas maximizar más dinero ahí en eso, con el buen crédito. Pues
La
sí.
verdad que sí, estuvo muy, muy buena la plática. Ojalá hubiera podido estar traduciéndole todo, pero dije no, porque como que mi traductor está muy rápido y la voy a dejar atrás y luego no me alcanzaré en la traducción.
No,
Nada, se crean.
cualquier pregunta aquí, pónganla ahí en los comentarios. Ahí,
Sí, sí, sí.
ahí se la pasamos a ella, nos va a estar contestando para toda la gente que se quedó con preguntas, pues aquí vamos a tener otras fechas, las vamos a tener otra vez aquí disponibles en el show, mientras ya para el otro mes que ya empezamos las taxas, la podemos tener aquí otra vez para que nos ayude a contestar preguntas que le salgan a la gente mientras ven estos programas.
Sí, ahí se quedó, a todos modos en los comentarios, como dice DJ.
Sí, por ahí pónganlos en los comentarios. Ya dimos el primer paso en traer más especialistas en estos temas para que ya la gente vaya preguntando y así podamos, pues en un futuro traerlas y que contesten todas las preguntas que puedan tener.
La verdad que sí, muy importante. Bueno, mi gente, la entrevista fue traída nada más y nada menos que por Taquería Los Tres Hermanos. Taquería Los Tres Hermanos los invita a probar la mejor barbacoa de Kansas City, la única con el único estilo de ellos. Taquería Los Tres Hermanos está ubicado en el 5224 East Truman Road, Kansas City, Missouri. Controles, me dejas saber cuando estás listos para que lo dejes ir. La única barbacoa, la única barbacoa.
Taquería Los Tres Hermanos abre sus puertas para ofrecerle una gran variedad de platillos 100% mexicanos. Si quieres disfrutar de una torta, una quesadilla, las super hamburguesas mexicanas, una rica carne asada o unos ricos tacos, visítanos ya en la 5224 East Truman Road, Kansas City, Missouri, 64127. Amigos, no se les olvide que los fines de semana también tenemos barbacoa de borrego, rico consomé y también menudo. Si quieres traer a la familia o pedir para llevar, recuerde que con Taquería Los Tres Hermanos usted puede contar. Para más información llame al 816-616-5621 o al 816-682-7823.
Qué bonita es mi tierra, qué bonita.
Ahí está Taquería Los Tres Hermanos. Recuerden que tienen los especiales todos los días, tacos de carnita a solo $1, tacos de carnita a solo $1. Las carnitas todos los días también recién hechas. Ahora están con nuevos horarios para la raza. ¿Por qué? Porque sigue llegando la raza a las 10 de la noche y dice no queremos correrlos, así que ampliamos nuestros horarios. Lunes está cerrado, mi raza, lunes descansan. De martes a jueves, 10 a.m. a 1 a.m., viernes, sábado y domingo, de 10 a.m. hasta las 3 de la mañana. Así que si salen del baile, salen tarde del jale, donde sea que anden y quieren comer a esas horas, ya saben, cáiganle a Taquería Los Tres Hermanos, 5224 East Truman Road, Kansas City, Missouri. Ahora están tomando órdenes para el día de Navidad, día de Año Nuevo. Si quieres pedir tu barbacoa, tus carnitas, marca el 816-616-5621, 816-616-5621. Ordena tus carnitas y ordena ese borrego completito porque Ingesu te vas a quedar con las ganas.
Sí,
también
eso
estos traen
para la cena de Navidad y para Año Nuevo,
sí.
También tienen paquetes, así es que pues por ahí les puedes llamar para que puedas hacer tu orden, para que pues no ahora sí no tengan que cocinar este año, cerca Navidad y Año Nuevo, así es que aprovechen esos banquetes que tienen disponibles la Taquería Los Tres Hermanos. ¿Cuál es el número?
Mira, 816-616-5621. ¿Sabes qué, DJ? Ya que dijiste eso de eso, mira, tengo una idea. Vamos a ver si les rifamos el día de la rosca, en vez de una rosca de tacos con la Taquería Los Tres Hermanos, ¿va? Vamos a ver ahí para hacer el flyer por medio de la oficina y ya lo postemos en la radio y lo compartan. A ver quién se quiere ganar esa rosca. ¿De cuántos tacos estaría bueno que fuera esa rosca, DJ?
Unas 20 tacos así, pues.
20 tacos, poquitos, unos 30, ¿no? Que amarre. A ver, que la gente nos deje en los comentarios cuántos tacos. A ver, 20, 30, máximo un 50, ¿verdad? A ver quién se lo quiere ganar. Vamos a hacer el flyer para que lo compartan y se ganen esa rosca. Ahora en la rosca, en vez de una rosca, será una rosca de tacos. Ahí estamos, a ver qué rollo.
Por ahí va a salir el niño Jesús también por ahí en uno de esos
sí, en uno de los tacos. El que le toque los tacos va a hacer los tamales y nos invita a todo Fuego Urbano Radio. ¡Ay, chis! Bueno, también esto fue traído por Tapatío Mexican Grill. Está en Prescott Plaza, el 151 Sur, 18 Street, Kansas City, Kansas. Recuerda que tienen los mejores desayunos, huevitos al gusto. Ahora que si les gustan unos chilaquiles rojos, verdes, con carne, huevitos estrellados, quesito fresco, crema y aguacatito. ¡Ay, papá! taquería, a mi tapatío el Mexican Grill, los tiene ahí en el 151 Sur 18 Street, Kansas City, Kansas. Está a sus órdenes desde temprano, desde 10 de la mañanita, todos los días hasta las 10 de la noche. Los fines de semana se van hasta las 11 de la noche. Los que llegan antes de las 11 de la noche se quedan con ellos hasta las 12, mi gente. Tienen por ahí también marisco, los mejores mariscos. Si no, pregúntenle aquí al DJ si no tienen los mejores mariscos.
Por ahí está en la página de Fuego Urbano Radio ya el video donde fuimos, hace unos varios días fuimos ahí a visitar a los amigos del Tapatío Mexican Grill. Me eché un cóctel de camarón bien al 100 por ahí, pueden checarlo en los... ya están todas las plataformas ahí en la página de Fuego Urbano Radio. Vámonos con el liner.
Vámonos, controles.
Bienvenidos a Tapatío Mexican Grill, ubicado en el corazón de Kansas City, Kansas. Somos tu destino número 1 para disfrutar de la mejor carne arrachera, marinada con especias tradicionales y asada a la perfección. Nuestra arrachera es una experiencia culinaria que no te puedes perder. Disfruta de nuestras ofertas diarias. Lunes, fajitas, $9.99. Dinner, $17.99. Martes, lunch número 4, $8.99. Lunch número 6, $8.99. Miércoles, burrito vaquero, $8.99. Speedy González, $7.99. Jueves, huevos en cualquier estilo, $8.99. Quesadilla fajita, $9.99. Viernes, chimichanga, $8.99. Queso, $9.99. Cena especial, lunes, fajitas, $17.99. Martes, burrito Chicago, $13.99. Miércoles, pescado al horno, $16.99. Jueves, burrito tapatío, $12.99. Viernes, María especial, $15.99. Happy hour de lunes a viernes con mojitos, palomas y más. Cubeta de cerveza por solo $9. Y disfruta de nuestros street tacos por solo $2.99, con opciones como pastor, chorizo, lengua, pollo, asada, carnitas y mucho más. Visítanos en el 151 South 18 Street, Suite A, Kansas City, Kansas, 66102, o llámanos al 1913-621-5555. Tapatío Mexican Grill, donde la auténtica carne arrachera es nuestra pasión.
¡Wow! Mira nomás, qué chulada. Hasta hambre me dio, Mirilla, hasta hambre me dio. Recuerda marcar al 913-621-55 si quieres hacer una reservación, si quieres festejarle el cumpleaños a quien tú gustes, no te van a cobrar el espacio, solamente llámales con tiempo. ¿Por qué? Porque si quieres ir a ordenar, poner globos o algo, para que ellos te tengan ya tu mesa ahí lista, para que te digan, mira, ese rinconcito, ahí tú ordena, este va a ser el espacio de ustedes, hagan su fiesta, no hay problema. Pregunta por Jorge, pregunta por Félix al 913-621.
Recordándoles que las botellas ahí están a solamente $150, cualquier botella.
Sí, tenían especiales, parece que esta semana también los tienen hasta este fin de semana nada más, los especiales de 150, cualquier botella, nada más pregúntale ahí en la barra, pregunta por Félix, pregunta por Jorge, está en la barra, te tiene más información sobre cualquier botella. Si vas a festejar, como te estaba diciendo, un cumpleaños, un convivio, una junta de trabajo, lo que tú quieras, marca al 913-621-5555, totalmente gratis, no te cobran el espacio, así que llámale, reserva lo tuyo. Recuerda, desayunos, mariscos, los mejores mariscos. Si quieren amanecer cruditos mañana, ya saben dónde caerle por mariscos, ahí están al 100. O también tienen por ahí
vamos a ordenar un molcajete de mar y tierra para que vean nuestros amigos ahí como
no diga, a ver qué día nos vamos para allá y ordenamos uno. También las mejores bebidas, tienen muchísimas bebidas que puedes probar ahí con ellos, así que checa los Tapatío Mexican Grill. Viernes tienen a Gerardo Ortiz de las 8 p.m. en adelante. Hoy tienen noche de chicas, está Sheira y Gabriela, ahí están tocando ahorita ellas en vivo hasta las 12 de la noche, mi gente, en el Tapatío Mexican Grill, 151 Sur 18 Street, Kansas City, Kansas. Si quieren llamar para cualquier información, 913-621-5555. Si quieren llegarle por ahí y decir, a ver, todavía están las chicas, pues vámonos para allá. Mañana desde temprano tienen allá los Tigres tocando, mira, echándote con acordeón y todos tus corridos, tus palomazos desde temprano. Y a las 4 en adelante llegan los Tigres, el Zacatecano y el Ranchero, sábado y domingo. O sea, los mejores fines de semana están en el Tapatío Mexican Grill. Ambiente, música, bebidas, mariscos. ¿Qué más quieres? ¿Qué más quieres, DJ?
No, sí, pues tienen todo, bebidas, de bebidas, mariscos y todo lo que puedas ahí antojarte con los mejores platillos mexicanos, pues ahí los tiene el Tapatío Mexican Grill.
Tapatío Mexican Grill, ya se la sabe mi raza. Y bueno, los dejamos. Esto fue Quemando la Podcast Show. Gracias a Dios, otro episodio más aquí con tu servidor Colibrí y con el DJ más perro de la casa, DJ Mastro, mi gente. Nos vemos mañana en Despierta con tu Gallo. El DJ viene en el mediodía también a tocar para ustedes. Y ya saben, sigue Fuego Urbano Radio. El domingo el Pache Pache activado, mi gente. Si quieren anunciar su negocio, ya se la saben.
El domingo siempre el Pache Pache, por ahí, si anuncias algo, vendes algo, ahí te lo anunciamos gratuitamente en el Pache Pache. Todos los domingos, no se les olvide, mi raza.
Ya se la saben. Esto fue Quemando la Podcast Show. Nos fuimos, DJ. Nos fuimos.